Hi students, this is Dr. Nisha Varshney once again with the second chapter of political science, that is federalism. Have you heard about this word before? What is federalism? Federalism, I think we have done in class 9th a little bit. But before that, just I want to remind you, you have to take chapter and test. SSC is not all about listening, writing also. Write the test, get it checked by me, get the feedback, how are you doing? Else it will not solve our purpose to study social sciences, and we have to get good marks, right? So let us start with that. Literal meaning of federalism means federal structure where there are more than one level of the government and both of them are sharing power with each other. Correct? Reason being, because of this system in the world, when the population was very less in the country, so there was only one level of government which is called the central government, and that particular central government is looking after the entire country, and we were divided into so many nations also. So when the population was less, so it was easy for one single level of the government to look after all the people. Next, we have been increasing in numbers. Example of India. When we got independent, so we had two levels of the government, central and state. So we had 16 states also at that time when we got independent. So after that, now we are 28 states and 9 union territories. So what is that? We are increasing in number. So it is not always easy to look after needs of these many people. We need to have many other level of the government. That is why in every school we have teachers, we have headmistress, we have vice principals, and we have principal. Principal is only one, but that principal is looking after the entire school of 2000 students and with the help of other teachers or headmistress. Same way, when the country is increasing in number, so it is important to have more level of the government to look after the needs of the people. This is simple fundamental to understand what is federal government, federal structure and federalism. Correct? And the countries which are still small in number in terms of population have the concept of unitary government. There only you have central government and small units are there to look after. So you have less number of officials to look after them because they are small units, but once they become bigger, so they would change themselves from unitary to federal government where they have division of powers. Correct? Do you think India is a federal country? Absolutely, India is. But in Indian constitution, it is not written properly that India is a federal country. It is written India is a union of states. So that means we have so many states and India is union of that. However, we function like this only. We have this similar concept that we function on the principles of federalism only. Correct? So there we are going to know more about it. Very easy to understand and very important that many students are not even conceptually clear on that. So previous chapter we did Belgium. In that we did 4 levels of the government. So what were they? They were good example of federalism. They divided, they shared their power among themselves in order not to have any conflict in the country. On the other hand, Sri Lanka had unitary government. Still it has unitary government with maximum power in the hand of the central government, and they have units but they do not function as a state, because state, once it is a federalism, then state has more powers. Now coming understand India. India is a union of states having 28 states. If CM of UP is taking any step, so it does not mean that CM of Tamil Nadu will have the same issue. So CM of Tamil Nadu may not follow that. Okay, they may have difference of opinion in terms of implementation of laws. Correct? And central government cannot say anything in both the states, because if the powers of state government is to make any law for their particular state, so no other state can say anything, and even central government cannot say anything on that, because there is a division of powers already given in the constitution. This it helps in reducing conflict between the governments as well. So all that features we are going to learn in this chapter called Federalism. So before that, we have one map given here. In that red color countries are federal countries. These countries have been following federalism after their independence, and interestingly, if this is a federalism they are practicing, so all of them are democratic countries, because in democracy there is a sharing, power sharing. Else if had it been monarch or dictator, so there is no sharing of power. Power sharing means central, state, local are doing their jobs with their stipulated jurisdiction as well as powers. Here we have 7 features of federalism. So first question, please write down, what is federal system? Second question, how federal system is different from unitary system? It is already given in the first paragraph. You can go through it. It is very simple. Already it is given there. Differentiate between unitary government and federal government. Third one, we have write down the features of federalism. Assume if you are visiting any country and you want to know in detail what the country, how this particular country function. So what you have to do, you have to just go through those features that we are going to learn here, and you can implement there, and you can check whether they are following federalism or not. It's very easy to look at them. So let us have a look at that. First one is, there are 2 or more level of the government. Easy to understand. So that I have also already started with the chapter. Second, they have their own jurisdiction, and the meaning of jurisdiction is given in the glossary. Jurisdiction means the place over which someone has authority to function in terms of geographical boundaries. Correct? So this way we have the jurisdiction, and which is already defined in the constitution. Third, the jurisdiction is the respective level of tier of governments are specified in the constitution. I have mentioned. Second, the fundamental provision of the constitution. Assume we need to change our constitution. Okay, so it is not necessary that always central government will have the power. Here, if you want to change anything in the constitution, you should have consent of state government as well. That is written in point 4. So it is written that such changes require the consent of both level of the government. 50% agreement of all MLAs in the country, and 2/3 agreement of the MPs in the parliament. I hope I so far assume that you know what is parliament, who is MP, difference between Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, what is state legislature assembly or MLA, and some states have state legislative council also, the difference between them. So these are the fundamental things that every political science student should know it. Next we have courts. Courts have the powers to interpret if there is any fight, any conflict between 2 states or center or state. Who will resolve their issues? No doubt about it, the judiciary. Which judiciary? Sometimes high courts and sometimes supreme courts, depending upon the case. Correct? So if there is any conflict, disagreement, that can be resolved with the help of judiciary. So judiciary also has a role to play in federalism, because it has been defined that that is your job. Next we have sources of revenue. What is revenue? Income. So how does government has income? Government has income with the source of income tax, sales tax, house tax, toll tax. Okay, these are so many taxes that people pay to the government, and government use that tax money again in rotation to help the people by paying the salaries of their staff and reducing their own expenditure. Correct? So this is the way to generate income for every state government and for any central government. Correct? So source of revenue is also mentioned. But for local government, they have less sources to generate revenue. So they are dependent on the state government for grant needs. Okay. Next we have seventh point and last, that they have to, beautiful line written here, the objective is to safeguard and promote unity of the country while at the same time accommodating regional diversity. So that means, in a nutshell, no state government can say, I will not listen to the central government with the new law because it does not suit to my people or my country. See, not all people will be benefited by all the laws. One section will have more benefits as compared to the other section or other social group. So there has to be, way of functioning by the state government that they are supporting the central government and other states also, because if something is done for the welfare of their people, so in future, not for the people, in future their people will also be get benefit by some of the special laws for their particular states. Okay, so we have done here 7 fundamental features of federalism. What is federalism? I have asked you to write down the features of federalism. Correct. So we have done here, and the previous question, differentiate between unitary and federalism. Next question is very interesting. What makes India federal? First of all, the question, is India a federal country? Yes, India is a federal country. How? Because in our constitution it is written clearly that we have certain subjects which will be taken care by the central government and which will be taken care by the state government, and if there are certain subjects where they both need to sit together, so that is also mentioned in concurrent list. So in union list, subjects are mentioned for the central government to work upon. In state list, subjects are mentioned for the state government to be work upon. In concurrent list, both the governments sit together to look after the needs of the people. And if there is any new subject which was not mentioned earlier, so in that particular case, that would be called a residuary subject, and the power to make law on it will be in the hand of central government only. So somewhere we can say in India, central government is more powerful, and that is true also. We have more powers with the central governments, correct? So example, in information technology, which came into 1990s, right, in the subject list. So here we saw that central government made the law on it, correct? So central government has the power to make laws on new subjects, correct? Here we have mentioned union list, so you can go through that. So let us have some example of what all subjects union government work upon, like military, printing currency, foreign affairs in the hands of central government. For the state, agriculture, correct, infrastructure in the hand of state, electricity, water, these subjects are in the hands of the state government. Concurrent list, they have certain subjects like agriculture, education, where they both have to sit together and to work in consent with each other. And the fourth one I have just discussed with you. What do we mean by residuary powers? So write down the next question. What makes India a federal country? What makes India a federal country? So by dividing these sections of work under the state list, union list, concurrent list, India is called to be a federal country, correct? You can go through it step by step, slowly. You will have better answer. And last paragraph is also talking about, in India, judiciary play an important role for any dispute happens between two states, center or state. See, whatever we learnt in 7 features, you apply in your country, you will have all the answer. So after going through all the paragraphs, every paragraph is talking about the feature of federalism applied in our country. This way you can answer very easily. Yes, India is a federal country, correct? So some union territories are also under the control of central government. So here we can say that somewhere we see central government is more powerful. That is the only thing that has some difference between two types of federalism. Please write down the next question. 2 types of federalism in the world. One is holding together and other is coming together. Coming together let me give you example of UK. UK has 4 countries: England, Scotland, Northern Ireland and Wales. It is made up of 4 countries. These countries were small. They came together. Well, historically something is different. England captured Wales and Scotland. I'm not going into the history, but in a nutshell, just to make you understand, 4 countries are coming together to form a big nation on papers, correct? And at the time of functioning, they all will remain independent. Means all states would have equal powers. There will not be a strong central power. This is the case of coming together. Second, holding together, in which the country is divided into many states. If the country is divided into many states, so there is some authority who is dividing it. So that authority would always remain on the top in terms of having more power. So in our constitution also, our central government is made more powerful for different political reasons that I am not going into detail. That is a part of class 11th political science. Okay. So next question in that only, types of federal system in India, in the world, coming together and holding together. And the previous question I am carrying now again, how India is practicing federalism, please tell us. So answer is state list, union list, concurrent list. Judiciary is playing an important role, and we see somewhere that we follow what we have, holding together concept of federalism, in which central government is more powerful. And in the last, if there is any change in the or amendment in the constitution, both the governments have to sit together, central as well as state, correct? So this way we can say that India is a federal country. Next question, let us look at the next part of it. Next part is that see, there is one old map of 1947. You can compare all the states, how India looks today and how was it previously. Here we have how is federalism practiced properly. For in the previous question we were just checking whether India is federal or not. Here we are going to understand how do we practice it in a detail. So this section is divided into 3. Please write. One is linguistic state, second is language policy of India, and the third is center-state relationship. Because we have to actually practically see it. How do we practice federalism? So practically, so first one is your linguistic states. What do you mean by linguistic states? After independence, there was a demand that English or Hindi or should not become language for all. To satisfy need, or you can say to eliminate fear among the people that no, it is not going to be imposed on you. So people demanded to have that their language of speaking should be preserved. So the demand was in such a way that finally country was divided into states on the basis of language spoken. Look at your country state-wise map. They are not even. Some states are very big, some states are very small. Why so? Because when it was being calculated or when it was being divided into states, the people, those who speak particular language, were kept into particular boundary and they were given new name or the new state. So that was a linguistic formation of states on the basis of linguistic demands, which was catered, which was looked after. So it shows that yes, we take care of all the people and we have formed states on the needs of the people which have different spoken language. Correct. Next we have language policy. Please write down the question next. What is the how were states formed in India, or what do you mean by linguistic states? Correct. Next question. What is language policy of India? Here I would say language means writing proper. So what is the official language of India in which we communicate? In the beginning, 15 years, till 15 years, it was English. And it was assumed that after 15 years, Hindi will be made official language. But it did not go that way. Hindi never became official language, Hindi and English went parallel to each other. Correct? But apart from this, 21 languages were also given recognition in our constitution, that if any state government would like to use that particular language in their official language, they can go for it. There is no hard and fast rule for them to follow Hindi or English, so they can follow their own local language also. So in the examination of the government jobs, if you belong to Tamil Nadu and you only know Tamil, if you apply, if you write that you want question paper in Tamil language, so Tamil in the question paper will be provided to you in the Tamil language, by keeping in mind that you belong to that particular state and the official language of that particular state is Tamil. There is no force on you that you have to write paper in English or Hindi only. So this is the beauty of our constitution, that we practice language policy written and linguistic policy spoken. This way we have maintained our federalism. Correct? Next we have the central and state relationship. This particular paragraph is divided into two heads: center and state relationship before 1990s and center and state relationship after 1990s. What was the difference? Difference was that after independence, Congress was only one party which was dominating the entire country in the central as well as in states. So those few states where Congress party was weak or there was no government of Congress, so central government sometimes would reject the demands of that state. So that made a lot of problem between those states and the central government. By chance, slowly Congress party started diminishing and new parties are coming up. Now these new parties are forming their government. So after 1990s, it was the era of coalition government. For 30 years in India, we saw at central level coalition government. Yes, coalition government for 30 years. Now there is no discrimination. Central and state have become more stronger. They have become more equal. Previously, some sort of issues were there, conflicts were there, disagreements were there. But now all state governments have equal say, that I belong to this party and my party is also in center. So you cannot reject my demand. This way the problem was resolved, and judiciary has also played an important role. Previously, central government had a right to dismiss any state government. Yes, central government had a right to dismiss any state government, but slowly after some time, judiciary intervened and the law was made that central government has less power in dismissing the state government. So this has helped India's federalism to look at into a new picture, and which has brought our relationship very close. So in the section, how do we practice federalism, we did 3 parts: linguistic states, language policy, center-state relationship. In that I have covered 2 parts: before 1990s, after 1990s. Is that clear? All question write down: what is linguistic state of India, what is language policy of India, how center and state relationship of India has been functioning since independence. Okay, so you have to cover all these questions. So coalition government has helped a lot. There is beautiful cartoon given here. You can see Indira Gandhi is distributing something. Actually, she is into this. She was in the Prime Minister of India, and she had a lot of power, and she is distributing something to the states which do not belong to Congress. So other states are shown here like a beggars. Please give me something. Please give me something. So that is the relationship shown before 1990s. And in the next picture, you can see Atal Bihari Vajpayee, who became our Prime Minister in 1998, is sitting on the chair where something is, and in front of him there is some burning fire. And many political parties have made his chair. If one of them get removed, so the chair will collapse. So that is the picture of coalition government, that Atal Bihari Vajpayee as a PM has to look after needs of all the states and the other parties. So he cannot ignore that. So this is a beautiful picture to understand the last section. Next we have plus box. As I have told you, plus box do not come in the examination. And next we have decentralization in India. Decentralization means taking power from the hands of the central government and giving it to the state. After 1992, India's population was increasing, so it was a difficulty to handle the needs of the people. So third layer of federalism, which is called local government, was added by doing 73rd and 74th amendment in the constitution. In 73rd amendment, we introduced PRI, that is Panchayati Raj institutions. In India, we have more than 7 lakh villages to look after the needs of the villagers, and all villagers are scattered. Some villages are populated, some villages have few thousands of people or hundreds of people. So how to reach to that last man of the country? It was important that we need to make government, or we need to make such a structure or a system where we should include all of them. So PRI was introduced, that is Panchayati Raj institution. Please write down, it has 3 layers. The bottom one is Panchayat, which is found in every village. Every village has Panchayat, where we have few people looking after the village needs, issues, problems. Upper level is Panchayat Samiti. Panchayat Samiti is one level. Assume 100 villages. On 100 villages, there is one Panchayat Samiti. As I have told you, people are less in some villages. So on 100 villages, according to calculation of their population, one Panchayat Samiti is made. So issues of 100 villages can be reached to the Panchayat Samiti, and Panchayat Samiti has more powerful members and resources to help them. On 100 Panchayat Samitis, we have Jila Parishad, which is of the level of MLA. Correct? So that Jila Parishad will look after the Panchayat Samitis, and Panchayat Samitis will look after the thousands and lakhs of villages of India. So this way, this PRI system was introduced. Okay, and after PRI institute, and that is in rural India. Fine. So what are the fundamental laws or rules are made for the government? So it is given in the bullet form. After 1992 amendment, there would be now election. For them, they have proper election system at Panchayat level, Panchayat Samiti and Jila Parishad. After 5 years, 1/3 reservation will be given to the women. Their women are empowered a lot in India. It was a beautiful step. Okay. Next we will also have independent election commission to look after the election system processes of the village or the area or the state. Fine. And the sources of revenue, they will have their own local revenue they can have by putting small taxes. For example, if there is a fair being held in the village, so in fair those who are coming and putting up their stalls have to pay some fee to the village headman, right? So this way they have their local ways of generating income, but the job of the state government is to look after their needs. So maximum revenue or the support, financial support comes from the state government to the local government. So these are the features. Please write down the question. What do you mean by decentralization, and how it is implemented in India and made it powerful? How it is implemented in India and made it powerful. So these are the 5 bullet points I have just read for you. Very easy to understand, very simple. Political science is just like a story, I would say. Just read, understand, and you can see it around you. It's nothing new. So there is nothing to put pressure on it. It is just all about to understand the concepts and relate it and practice it. Okay. So is that clear? Further, how it is implemented in that, or you can say what is PRI, here you have to write, or what is rural local government. So there you have to write further, which I have just explained you. PRI, which is given in the next paragraph, local government at village level function in such a way: Jila Parishad, Panchayat Samiti and Panchayat. Same is applicable in urban areas. In urban areas, we know municipal corporations or municipalities. Municipalities are for small cities and municipal corporation is for big cities. For example, Delhi, we have MCD, Municipal Corporation of Delhi, MCG, Municipal Corporation of Gurgaon. Correct? So they are local bodies. Assume there is a broken road near your house. You will not go to the central level. For that you have to go to the local government. Please repair it. Okay, if there is some problem of water supply or any kind of law handling issues, you have to go to the local police or the MC department to mend your issues. Correct? So this way the third level is introduced in India and functioning very well. It has its own challenges also. Again, I am repeating, for rural areas we have PRI, and for urban area we have municipality oblique municipal corporator, correct, corporation. We have number of people working as a MC, municipal corporators, and on top they have one head called mayor, M-A-Y-O-R, mayor. In Delhi we have three. Delhi has become so big that it is divided into three, so we have three mayors. Okay, we have North Delhi, we have South Delhi, and we have East Delhi, correct, corporation, MCD. So further it is divided. So we have mayors, three mayors. So this way I have explained with the help of a Delhi example of local government in urban areas and example of PRI in rural areas. In which state you belong to, you look at your local government, which one of it, this, and how do they function. In the end, they also face some problems. So write down the last question of this chapter. What all challenges are faced by municipal corporation or oblique local government? What all problems or challenges are faced by the local government? So first challenge is that, of course, finances. They have always lack finances. Second, regular meetings do not held. That is an issue. So solutions do not come up easily. And the third one is all about difficulty, election system. Elections also do not take place on time. Elections, meetings, financial issues, and support from the higher level of the government is always a matter of worry for the local government. So this was the last question. We are not going into the detail why they are facing the problems and all, because every state is different and every local government has their different issues, and we need to just understand the concept, how federalism is functioning in India, what all changes we saw since independence, how and when third level of government is added, and the relationship between center and state, linguistic state, language policy. Interesting, very, very interesting. So I hope this chapter is clear to you. Then still you have any issue, you can just mail me. I'm just a call away, and you can take your doubt classes. I'm repeating the questions once again. I feel that I need to differentiate between unitary and federal government, what is federalism and features of federalism, and types of federal system coming together and holding together. Is India a federal country? First, is India a federal country? Question. Okay. Next, how do we practice federalism? In that we did three. I'm repeating: linguistic state, language policy, and center and state relationship. Last topic in section, decentralization, means introducing of local government at rural level and at urban level. Rural, we have PRI, here we have municipalities. So question on them: what is PRI, what is municipality, fundamental features of local governments, challenges of local government. I hope it is clear so far. So wish you all the best. Do not learn political science, practice it day and night. You will start enjoying this subject, and I assure you, you will be a best citizen of the country.